US President Donald Trump's renewed interest in Greenland followed NATO leaders all the way to Ankara. While Russia and Ukraine dominated the summit agenda, questions about Greenland repeatedly surfaced during leaders' doorstep interactions. Asked whether Trump's latest remarks had changed anything, NATO leaders delivered a remarkably united response. They acknowledged the Arctic's growing strategic importance, but insisted that Greenland's sovereignty and the Greenlandic people's right to decide their own future remain non-negotiable.
Yeah, I heard the US president yesterday, and I think the US position is unfortunately very clear on this topic. And our position is as clear as it has been all through. Greenland is, of course, not for sale. We hope that all, including all allies, will respect the Greenlandic people's right for self-determination. And we are a sovereign state, and we need everybody to respect our territorial integrity and our sovereignty.
President Trump absolutely has a point when it comes to the Arctic, because of China and Russia gaining access to the region. It is crucial that, as an alliance, we work together to make sure that doesn't happen. When it comes to Denmark and Greenland itself, we have a good process in place, and we are working very closely together on these issues.
While Denmark rejected any suggestion that Greenland's status could be revisited, other allies broadened the discussion beyond sovereignty. For them, the Arctic is rapidly becoming one of NATO's most important strategic theaters, with growing Russian and Chinese activity demanding greater military cooperation. Even so, leaders repeatedly stressed that strengthening security in the High North must go hand in hand with respecting international law and national sovereignty.
I believe we have to respect the right of the Greenlandic people to determine their own future. We should remain united, act responsibly, and look for rational solutions that strengthen our collective security while respecting sovereignty.
Our focus is on North American security and the crescent that runs through the Arctic down into the Baltics. The threats we face are changing rapidly. Russia is a direct adversary, and we are building new capabilities because Arctic security is becoming increasingly important for the alliance.
The repeated references to the Arctic reflected a much broader strategic shift taking place inside NATO. Melting sea routes, expanding military activity, and growing competition between global powers have pushed the High North to the forefront of the alliance's planning. President Trump's comments may have reignited political debate over Greenland, but NATO leaders used the opportunity to underline why the region itself has become so strategically significant.
Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, and that is a position we support. At the same time, we recognize that the Arctic is becoming increasingly important for our collective security. And that is why allies must work even more closely together in the High North.
Greenland belongs to the Greenlandic people. That principle has always been clear. As Arctic nations, we also understand that the region is becoming more important strategically, which is why cooperation among allies is essential.
For Denmark, however, Greenland is not just another Arctic territory. It is protected by the same collective defense principles that apply across the alliance. Prime Minister Frederiksen reminded allies that Article 5 was created to ensure every NATO member can count on the support of the others, whether the threat comes on the eastern flank, in North America, or in the Arctic itself.
We are ready to defend every inch of NATO, including our own territory. One of the reasons why we built NATO many years ago is that if anything happens to one of us, everybody should stand up for each other. Article 5 is our insurance. It goes for the eastern flank right now with the hybrid war coming in from Russia. It went for the United States after 9/11. and the same goes for Greenland if anything happens in our direction.
The exchanges in Ankara revealed an important distinction inside today's NATO. Allies broadly agree with Washington that the Arctic is emerging as one of the alliance's most strategically important regions because of Russia's military posture and China's growing presence. But they also delivered a unified political message that Greenland's future rests with its people, its sovereignty must be respected, and its security already falls under NATO's collective defense umbrella. Trump may have reignited the Greenland debate, but the response from Ankara was one of alliance unity, strengthening Arctic security without reopening questions over who Greenland belongs to.